In the next 7 minutes, I'm going to show you how to design a bathroom that is highly functional, spacious, has a few touches of luxury, and can be delivered at an affordable price. The three principles that will underpin this process are spatial planning that is efficient but effective at creating a sense of spaciousness. We'll utilise prefabricated vanities, cabinets and shower screens that save thousands of dollars compared to custom-made items. And we'll specify a mix of tiles from both standard and premium ranges to help control costs, while at the same time introducing touches of quality and luxury. Along the way, we'll prepare a sketch plan, a digital mood board or a lookbook, and a bill of quantities that you can use to obtain competitive pricing from contractors and get your project underway. Thanks for tuning into Design Construct, where we deep dive on topics covering design, planning, construction, and many more, helping homeowners manage their new build better and set up for success. So all good design starts with careful spatial planning, and today I'll prepare a sketch design for a popular layout where the three water points are organised in a row, which allows plumbing to be contained to a single wall, minimising pipework and saving costs. If you have more space available, there are variants for a 4 and a 5 point bathroom where a second basin and a bath are introduced. If you're unsure about what layout to pursue, search typical bathroom layout and spend some time considering what layouts will fit within the constraints of your space. Now, one of the traps we fall into when remodeling and renovating is endlessly researching and forgetting to make decisions and pushing ahead. With this in mind, I've carefully considered the sequence in which each element of the bathroom is chosen, starting with cabinets, followed by tile selections, then fixtures and lighting. The first key decision is the bathroom vanity or other cabinet options. Wall-mounted vanities and cabinets are a great option because they are suspended off the floor, away from moisture, and allow your eye to travel beneath, contributing to a sense of space. Spend some time researching options by searching wall-mounted vanity or mirrored cabinet, also referred to as medicine cabinets or shaving cabinets. Browse the IKEA range and visit your local hardware store such as Bunnings, Fix Screw, Lowe's or the Home Depot, depending on where you live. Then shortlist a couple that fit within your space, suit your aesthetic preferences, and note down the product ID, the dimensions and the finishes. I'm going to select a mirrored cabinet, 1200 wide, 1 metre tall and 150 deep. I've chosen a unit made from moisture resistant MDF, which is essential in wet areas, a copper-free mirror that won't corrode. It has 3 adjustable shelves, soft closing door hinges, which is a must, and it comes with a 10-year warranty. These are all good features and the sort of quality and inclusions expected when ordering a custom item from a joiner. However, custom items come at a much greater expense, quite possibly double or triple any prefabricated equivalent. Plus, custom items require more time for site measure and manufacture. So straight up, this is a key value grab that you should definitely pursue. Let's start a sketch design. Start with a 300 by 300 grid to guide the setting out. This is about 1 foot by 1 foot. Establish a floor plan, a front elevation, a couple of sections to help visualize the design. I'm using Canva, which is an extremely intuitive to use, and I'll ultimately use these sketches for tendering and construction. So, for our 3-point bathroom, I'll divide the space equally between shower, toilet and basin, each 900 wide. These are reasonable allocations of space, but you could be pushed to 800 each if space is limited. I'll place the mirrored cabinet 1200 above finished floor level in the elevation view. Now, in the section view, I've represented the cabinet's true thickness of 150 and I've added 50mm for a split batten, making the total depth of the unit 200. Split battens are a common fixing method that are simple to install and very strong. Next, I'll introduce a hob wall that is also 200 thick, but just 900 high along 2/3 of the length of the bathroom, then at full height for the remaining third. So the wall is short in section A and full height in section B. So there are 3 benefits with introducing this wall. First, it creates 2 distinct volumes that sweep horizontally and vertically along the full extent of the bathroom. We'll further distinguish these volumes by applying different colours and textures to each. For the larger volume, I've chosen a geometric tile and I've maintained a uniform pattern across the entire front face. The size of the tile is important too, known as the tile's format. Keep it larger to avoid cluttering the space. In the smaller niche area, I've selected a smaller format tile with more texture and colour. I've selected a terrazzo look tile with subtle colours that will match my overall cool palette. Other options to consider are mosaics, pencil tiles, as well as rich natural finishes such as stone and marble. Now, don't be shy choosing premium quality tiles for this niche because the quantity required is minimal and the space will become the focal point of the bathroom. I've intentionally avoided using stone and marble slabs to keep costs down. However, if you had a bigger budget, then this is the ideal place to apply slabs. The second benefit of the hob wall is to create a void that will accommodate the plumbing. Hot and cold water pipes are easily accommodated in any wall, however waste pipes that are larger in diameter can be difficult. With the hob wall in place, we can reticulate the waste back into the wall and discharge laterally as opposed to coring and going vertically down. The third benefit of a hob wall is that it creates a shelf. This is a simple example of integrated design where one element performs several functions. In this case, the hob wall is a shelf, it is creating a volume, and it's a cavity to conceal the surfaces. Okay, so let's move on to select the remaining tiles. For the rear and side walls, I'll select a standard 300 by 600 white tile. This is a stock item supplied as little as $40 to $50 per square metre. I've adopted a vertical quarter offset pattern, but horizontal alignment would work just fine. Search tile patterns and consider the many options, however steer clear of angular options as they will be slow and more expensive to install and generate more wastage. Now I'll draw the walls in elevation, calculate the areas, subtract for windows and doors, then add 5% for wastage. These areas will be rounded up further to account for ordering full boxes of tiles. I'll budget $50 per square metre for a ceramic rectified tile that has good dimensional tolerance and it is easy to work with. Remember, we still need to budget for the labour to lay the tiles, hence larger format tiles will be faster and cheaper to lay. It's worthwhile considering the room's dimension in multiples of 300 to minimise tile cuts, further saving costs, but this will not always be possible. Now to select the floor tile. I've chosen a porcelain tile with a soft aggregate concrete look. It has enough colour variance to disguise a little dirt, and it has a coarse finish with better slip resistance. This tile comes in a few different shades of grey. It's noted that darker shades tend to work okay on the floors. Now for the wall tile in the shower recess, I'll continue the same floor tile up the wall, a technique that will help create a sense of expanse and space. I'll maintain the same format and pattern as the floor, maintaining the same rhythm in the line work. This is a fairly cool palette, and at this stage you could discuss these selections with your sketch design with a tile supplier who would help workshop and lock in final selections. The sales rep will also help you select and match grout colours, which is an important detail to be considered during design and can make a really big difference on the final outcome. Alright, so with all the tiles now selected, let's progress onto choosing fixtures. In this instance, I'll select a curved basin to soften the bathroom and add a pop of colour. I'll spend a little more on this element using money saved elsewhere. I'll add a suite of brushed brass fixtures including mixer, bottle trap, shower rose and a tap set. Another important detail is the location of the shower taps. I've placed the taps at the entrance to the shower recess as opposed to underneath the shower head, so the occupant doesn't get splashed with cold water when first entering the shower. This will attract a little more meterage of pipe when roughing in, but worth the investment for the quality gained. I'll select a quality towel rail and robe hooks and carefully position them on the wall aligned with grids or half grids if possible, and add dimensions and labels. It's important to select, place and label every fixture so you can visualise their position relative to other elements, allowing you to fine-tune their set out and check for sufficient clearance. It also allows the carpenter to install plywood behind the fixture so there is something strong to screw into when fitting off, as opposed to relying on the tile and the fibre cement board. Now on to lighting and power. I'll place two recessed downlights in the ceiling, one over the basin and one over the shower. This fitting outputs 1100 lumens, which is very bright and well suited to a bathroom. It is also IP65 rated, which means it's suitable for wet areas. If you don't have much space in your ceiling cavity, there are recessed downlights that are more slender than this one, or you may need to select surface mounted fittings or use wall mounted fittings. I'll introduce a pendant light in the niche, illuminating our feature tile. This is another opportunity to introduce colour and new layers of materials and texture. Check it's suitable for bathrooms, and the brightness is not as important as this light is more of ambience rather than for task lighting. You could choose a wall mounted fitting in this instance also. I'll add a double power outlet in the mirrored cabinet and an LED strip light under the mirrored cabinet. The control gear for this LED can be concealed behind the mirror. Now, building codes require mechanical exhaust in bathrooms. This means a fan is required that draws stale air out of the bathroom, which are relatively inexpensive. However, the labour to install duct and grills can be more costly, so it's worth considering your options early. Another common detail is to cut half an inch off the bottom of the door to allow air to be easily drawn back into the bathroom when the exhaust fan is turned on. This is known as make-up air. Maintaining good air change helps prevent condensation on mirrors and other surfaces, and it will help discharge odours quickly. all further improving the quality. Be sure to paint the bottom of the door before hanging it so the timber is protected from moisture and swelling. Okay, so for the final selections, we need to choose a toilet by a reputable brand, a toilet roll holder, and we'll add a niche shelf in our thickened shower wall. Remember to install a shelf with 3 degrees incline so water can run off and doesn't pool. I'll select a frameless shower screen, another prefabricated item that is easily half the price compared with custom glass that is cut to measure, then toughened. Now, using the final sketch design, I can prepare a bill of quantities and start building up costs. Other items or trades captured in the bill of quantities will be demolition and strip out of an existing bathroom if you're remodeling and renovating, stud wall framing to build the new whole wall, roughing in plumbing, electrical and mechanical, the fibre cement sheeting, screeding. This is a sand and cement mix that is placed carefully to establish the falls in the floor so that water sheds quickly. Screed is usually placed in a set down that is 2 or 3 inches deeper than other floors in the house. Then there's waterproofing, another trade to budget for requiring a primer coat and 2 coats of waterproofing membrane. So the entire process is lengthy, and in order to achieve a high quality outcome at a reasonable price, the design first needs to be resolved with good amount of detail, including the selections and scheduling of all the vanities, cabinets, tiles and fixtures. Now be sure to download all the data and specification sheets for everything that you've selected. Then you are ready to approach 2 or 3 contractors, share the sketch plan, the mood board, the bill of quantities and the spec sheets, and indicate what items you will supply so the contractor knows to supply everything else. If you follow this guide, you will receive 2 or 3 comparable quotes, allowing you to move forward with confidence. Keep an eye on my channel for future videos on selecting quality builders at a fair price. There you have it, folks. Thanks for tuning in to Design Construct. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button and check out the next video that explains how to build over and close to pipes.